First things first, I am not a tech expert, but I do maybe understand tech a little more than some of you. This is a reflection on something cool that I have been hearing about, and so I was like, I need to do more research. So, the concept of AI agents has been popping up all over the place, and I am not talking about the type of AI agents that you have seen in The Matrix, because those are scary agents. What I am talking about is this shift in how online advertising is happening, this like shift that's currently happening in online advertising and marketing that is taking generative AI to a whole new level. Now, if I have just said a bunch of words that don't make sense to you, that's fine, because I am not going to use a ton of technical terms in this, because that's not how I understand things and that's not how I teach. But what's happening is really, really interesting. So, we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about the implications. We're going to talk about how that might have an effect on you and your business, but mostly about how it's going to have an effect on your shopping experience and your purchasing experience. So, let's start with the basics. Let's imagine that you're going shopping and you've got Tim Gunn by your side. And Tim Gunn is like, okay, Diamando, I know exactly what you're looking for. I understand your goals because you just did a basic search on the internet. So I get what you're doing because, of course, everyone is always listening and watching, and that is scary, but let's make it work for us if it's already happening. So Tim Gunn is like, I just downloaded all of your information really instantly. Let's curate the perfect shopping experience. And so Tim Gunn takes you to a store. And in that store, it's like a TJ Maxx, right? And they have stuff from all of the different brands. But it's like a TJ Maxx showroom. So you're not actually purchasing from TJ Maxx. You're going to see all of your options, and then you're going to have to go to the store to purchase. So Tim Gunn is like, are you decorating for a holiday party? And you're like, how did you know that, Tim Gunn? He's like, well, because you did a fancy search on the internet and I have figured that out. So let's go to the holiday decor section. And he takes you to the holiday decor section and he asks you some more questions. He has a conversation with you as a like, I'm a person, I'm listening to you, right? Because he's Tim Gunn and he's amazing. I don't know why I'm so fixated on Tim Gunn, but when I heard about this AI brand agent thing, immediately he popped into my head. So I'm going with it. So he's taking you to the holiday decor section and you're refining and like talking about my vibe is more like this and I have this much space to fill and this is my budget. And Tim Gunn says, okay, from what you've told me, there are these five brands that I know are going to be perfect for you. Let's just like, let me ask you a few more questions so I know where I'm going to send us. And so he asks you a couple more questions and then he's like, this is the perfect brand for you, Diamando. Here we go. And because this is a fantasy and a story, he's like, beam me up, Scotty, let's go. And he takes you to that next store. Now, here is the cool part. Tim Gunn, the second you two walk through that store, has instantaneously been able to download your previous conversation into cloned Tim Gunn at the other store, who's like, well, hello, Tim. Hi, Tim. Here we go. Now we have all of Diamando's information and we can curate the perfect shopping experience for her. Still creepy, I know, but it's kind of cool because what you're doing right now with SEO optimization, with traditional ads on the internet, all of that involves you doing a lot of extra searching. Even like when you hit on a website and they have a chat bot, that is using predictive AI, which is like ChatGPT, right? Like it has a set output that it can give you. It's not based on your feedback that it's giving it, not to the extent that generative AI is, right? It has a database and it's like, this is one of your four options. And when you don't like any of the options, it's like, speak to a representative, and then you never get to a representative. So that's what the current shopping experience is. This would be like, way better and different than that. So you don't need to do any of the hard work. All you need to do is communicate what you desire. And that's really important for you as a consumer. Is it also really great data for the business owner? Absolutely. And do they need to be sharing that data like Tim Gunn with cloned Tim Gunn? Absolutely, because without total open communication about that, they cannot give you the best user experience. So that's basically what an AI brand agent is doing. And this is different from other AI agents and way different than the agents in the Matrix. However, the agents in the Matrix are absolutely a possibility, right? That's where intentional AI comes in. If we are not programming AI in a way that is very clear and targeted and considering a lot of all of the possible outcomes, like not just with an algorithm, but like people intentionally thinking through, like, if I do this, then this is going to happen, and that could have a possible effect. Like, we need to, intentional AI is like living the butterfly effect and knowing it. So, AI brand agents are intentionally sharing data and sharing information with each other with your permission on the consumer side to make your user interface better. So you get your own personal shopper with Tim Gunn, and Tim Gunn duplicates himself everywhere you go, but you need to go less places. The experience happens more quickly. You get the thing you actually need instead of having to see 20 or 30 things you don't need. Instead of needing to do all of the market research between this couch and this couch, you get the couch with the company. And if you care about things like sustainability, you care about things like made in America, whatever your priorities are, those are things that you are helping Tim Gunn, the AI brand agent, understand so that he doesn't send you to a bunch of places that do not fill your values. He's sending you only to the places that are exactly what you need. So this, I think, is super cool stuff. It also brings up so much for me about like, this is moving so quickly. The technology is moving so quickly. The energy usage, there's so much happening. And I'm not claiming to be somebody who knows all the stats, knows all the answers, but what I do know is that I care enough to keep asking more questions. So what I was thinking about is like, how can AI brand agents be beneficial in something like the coaching world? Because this is more for like a retail application. I can see how it's super applicable if you're a company that has 1,000 SKUs on your site and you want people to not have to scroll through any, like, there's not a filter in the world that's as good as Tim Gunn. So like, all the filters you get, it's not going to meet this generative AI brand agent capacity. But what if this application could be transferred over to community spaces? What if, let's say, I'm a part of many communities in the coaching sphere where women entrepreneurs are shouting out and recommending other women entrepreneurs? So, what if an AI brand agent could be created within these communities so that you, as the consumer who is coming in, it automatically filters through all of the things that you don't need, and all of the brands, the business owners, the coaches have agreed to share information so that the consumer gets to exactly where they want to go. Now, there are a lot of entrepreneurs out there who are like, no, because then other people are going to get my clients and I could have sold to them, and if I do the SEO and if I do the proper marketing, I will get them. And there are even more entrepreneurs who are like, there's enough in the world for all of us, so I only want the perfectly aligned people. And that's what I'm hearing more and more in this coaching world is like, I don't want the people who I had to fit into my square peg. I want the people who just like naturally slide in there and it feels like a cozy home. So if the coaching community got together and each brand, each coach had their own AI agent sharing information with the central hub of wherever that's housed. I don't know, I'm theoretically speaking now of like, okay, this is the AI brand agent for the coaching world as a whole, then potential clients would very quickly be able to go through the pre-screening process, and coaches would very quickly be able to pre-screen the ideal clients for themselves. That, I think, is really interesting use of the technology. I don't think that that exists yet, so I'm putting it out there as something that's possible in this sphere. Now, why do you care about any of this? If you're in the coaching world or in the business world, the retail world, whatever, AI brand agents are going to become a thing that you are going to need to know about. Maybe not the coaching world, but it seems like a natural progression. So I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to say, I'm predicting today on Tuesday, January 28th, that the coaching world is going to benefit from AI brand agents in the next 3 years. That's what my intuition said. That's what I'm being guided to say. I stand by it. But the retail world is already in this space. It's no longer just like run the Google ad and the people who have paid the most money are going to be there. It is still that's still going to exist, right? But when you have these customized agents who can really tailor your shopping experience to your needs, that's going to change the game. It's going to change marketing. It is already changing the advertising world. So, do you care about this? Yeah, you care about this because of energy consumption. We should all care about the energy consumption. We should all care about data sharing. I fall on the side of when we are openly sharing data with all of the people, not just the oligarchy, we are putting people on an even playing field. We are doing something to even the playing field. So I'm a favor of data sharing with everyone. Basically, I believe in transparency, and I think that transparency makes a better user experience for everyone. Other people would disagree with me. People like to own data and to hoard data and to use the data. Those are not my people, and I'm here to shake that up. So if you're with me, you want to shake that up too. Let's talk about the energy usage for a second, because I really care about that too. I cannot fall definitively on one side or another, but I can say, yes, the use of AI uses massive amounts of energy, massive amounts of water. It has an impact on many different communities in not a great way. However, that's what happens at the genesis of something new. That is traditionally what has always happened. And either people take over in a way that is slimy and sleazy and it keeps propagating more of that and worse of that, or people are early adapters who actually care about that stuff, keep it in the conversation, and we have down the line the ability to massively shift the way that energy is consumed in order to have this technology serve us in greater ways than we can possibly imagine. That's the world that I'm hoping for. If down the line it gets to a point where I'm like, I don't see that happening and this is no longer in alignment for me, I might completely drop out of the AI world. For now, I'm in the space of it's still technically early in this. I'm here to ride that wave and keep learning and keep exploring. And I am going to do it in a way that I'm going to turn everything into a story that I understand, because I am dramatic, I'm an actor, I am a storyteller. Tech did not come naturally to me at first, but I have found ways to make the tech click in my brain through storytelling. So you don't need to understand the tech, but you do need to have someone like me in your life. So if you'd rather learn about AI agents as like Tim Gunn cloning himself, you want to be in my world. And if you're also somebody who's like, I totally understand the tech, then I will work my damnedest to be able to hold that conversation with you. So if you made it through my brain fart moment at the beginning where I couldn't tell you the ChatGPT models and all of the different chatbots within it because bleh, brain, thank you. I look forward to doing better in the future. And if any of this was interesting to you at all, the potential for it, how it can implement itself in your life, in your business, in your shopping experience for you personally, like get into the vault, because it's not just about weekly prompts. It's about being in a space with somebody who's like actively seeking more information and actively trying to make it accessible to you so that you don't need to listen to the 45-minute podcast that has a lot of tech speak on it. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to make it fun. And that's going to save you so much time because I'm going to translate it into things that you're going to understand, and you're going to be able to be like, oh, cool, I'm glad to know that. That's where things are heading. Does this matter to me? Maybe. Am I really excited about it? Great, tell me more. Or like, that doesn't interest me at all, just give me the prompts. All of that is relevant. Um, I am not going to be in the vault giving you weekly lessons on what's progressing in the AI world, but when something relevant pops up, and things are popping up super frequently, I will probably talk a little bit about it. I might just like go live here and lead you to that if you want to learn more. But I'm going to be keeping on top of things. And that's who you want in your AI back pocket. Somebody who cares about the impact of on the environment, somebody who cares about equality in the space, and somebody who is going to be able to explain things to you in a way that makes sense and that you can easily implement. I'm that person. And gosh, I hope that Tim Gunn catches this, because the algorithm is like, that woman said my name a bunch of times, because I would love to meet Tim Gunn. Okay, so thank you for being here. If you've watched all of this, you're the best. 17 minutes. I am going to go.